Good afternoon. Aloha to everybody. My name is Mary Bartkowski, and I am part of the Teacher Effectiveness team. And today we are presenting our mini car wash series. Mini car wash meaning you get in, you get the learning, you get out in 15 minutes or less, guaranteed. And today it's my pleasure to introduce to you Jerry Page. Jerry Page is part of the Orange team, and he's going to be presenting a little bit about lesson planning. Jerry, I am going to go ahead and spotlight you and allow you to take over from here.
All right, thank you so much, Mary. So today I'll be discussing about lesson plans, what should go into it, and how many you might actually need to kind of help you be efficient when teaching your courses. Okay, so I'll be talking about the art of lesson planning. It is an art, in my opinion, and it's not something you can do in one day. It has to come over several times to practice to get it right, but that's okay. That's what we're here for, to learn a little bit extra about that. So what should be included? I have an example right here with a PLI weekly lesson plan, what it looks like. It's broken down to days. If you take a look, you see here that Wednesday, it's zoomed in, you have your objectives, essential questions, agenda, your practice with your due dates, and then your resource notes. Let me see if So zoomed in on that even more, we see the objective. What will my students learn? This is what should be an objective. What should my students learn? Essential questions. What should my students be able to tell me if given a quiz, or if you just ask them? So this is what you've gone over, what they're supposed to be learning, the objectives. Agenda. What are we going to do today? That's another important question. Finally, your practice with due dates. Practice what they've learned. Don't just give them a lesson. Go ahead, practice what they've learned. This is important to put into your lesson planning. And then, of course, your resource links and other notes, such as Neopod, Kahoot, or other games. I'll go explain these further even more. So like I said, how many lesson plans do I need? You may actually need 2. PLI requires us to go ahead and post it on Canvas. I post the ones that students need to see. This is because this is on Canvas. This is what they can interact with. This also gets them going day to day of what they're going to do, so they don't have to ask. They can be prepared. Just tell them, hey, go ahead, look over the objectives for today. This is what we're going to do, and then kind of lead them in after looking over that. I also have another idea for lesson planning of one for yourself, because this is things that students should probably not be needing to see, certain things, and I'll go over those. So on the left, you have what students are able to see. On the right is what teachers see. So students should see the objectives, the essential questions, the agenda, practice with the due dates, resource links, and notes. Well, now you're thinking, well, Jerry, the teacher's looks are just about the same. Yes, but there's more to it. So here, what I usually do, what I put into it, for yourself, for the teacher copy, what I would call it, copy number 2, whatever you want to call it, the teacher copy, you have the objectives. It should be the same, pretty much the same. Same as the essential questions. The agenda should have times. What does that mean? If you, for example, if you're putting down what they're doing today, you might want to put time limits on things. If you have a class discussion, put a time limit on that. 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you're doing a lesson, if you're doing a PowerPoint slide, do that, put times on that. If you have them working on a worksheet, put a time limit on that. Everything should have times. You might be asking, well, Jay, are you that much inconsiderate about time? No, I'm not, but it does help with efficiency. This helps you keep track of your students. This helps engage your students. If you're not dealing with high schoolers or even elementary students, whatever the case may be, you want to put times on things because of the time expansion. They have a short attention span, so you got to put times on things. If you're dragging things out, they're going to show. You're going to show your kids are going to show you this. So I put times on things to kind of remind myself, hey, this needs to have a time limit. They're going to get bored really quick if I don't change something up. And it helps me realize when I'm planning day to day, if I only have 15 minutes of planning, I should probably do only 15 minutes of work. So putting these times help me with that by putting in times for discussion, times for the lesson plan. Practice with due dates and times, same thing. Practice what they learned, put the times in that. So if they have a worksheet, or if they're having class discussion, or if they have homework, you'll let them work on within class, put time on that, set a time limit, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case may be. Lastly, for resource links and notes, I put everything I could think of down here. I give an example of accommodation modifications. So if your student has an IEP or a 501, it's good to know. It's good to note that down. So you're planning ahead with that. Like, okay, this student needs to write, instead of 2 to 3 paragraphs, maybe they can write 1 to 2 paragraphs instead, if that's what the IEP calls for. Accommodations could be, well, maybe I can give them extra time on this assignment if they're struggling with it, or something that you might accommodate or modify. I don't need to put that in the objectives. One, students can see that and will abuse it. They will abuse it like crazy, especially if it's accommodating. If they want more time, if you put that in there, they don't need to see that. They also don't need to see a student having an IEP. That's none of the business. That's between you, the school, student, and the parent. And that's it. So that's why I put this as a teacher copy to kind of remind myself, planning ahead of, okay, this student has an IEP. I need to adjust this for them, and that will help with efficiency along the way. And you're not struggling being, oh, I forgot this. It's already in your lesson plan. You already have it up. That is all I have. I will actually leave it open for Q&A on my side. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to explain something further or answer any questions.
Jerry, what I really liked is when you talked about the difference between student view and the teacher view, and I can see so much application on PLI's side for that, because we do have subs who come in, last minute, and it's going to be really helpful for them to see, hey, especially if you've got a 90-minute class or something, seeing, well, here is what I would do for the first 10 minutes. Here's what I would do for 30 minutes. That pacing is very beneficial. I loved that idea.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just something I practice, and it helps me with efficiency a lot. And like you said, with subs, I've been a sub myself, and it's nice to know what's going on, especially if I am looking forward to teaching and somebody says, hey, you're going to have a lot to do. Okay, good. I need to know a lot of things, like either IEPs, which student has IEP, what is their IEP, what should I do differently for them, or whatever the case may be. So the teacher copy is definitely something that students don't need, but it will help in the long run for yourself, substitutes. If vice principal wants to come in and see what you're doing, you can give that detailed thing to them, because they'll know what you're talking about if you just give that to them too as well.